Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Before we get into Bitcoin and Render, Solana, we're going to add Chainlink as well today and maybe some Ethereum. Take a look at Ethereum. I'd like to give you an outlook on the overall financial market in general, looking over the next 6 to 8 years. And I'm sorry, but that's as far as my crystal ball goes. So right now we're looking at the Dixie on the monthly time frame, the dollar index, U.S. dollar index, starting from around the early 70s. Sometime I don't think we can go much back before then. This goes all the way back to the dinosaurs in 1967. Whoa, that's about when I was born. Um, so this is what it's done. It's been following this downward sloping parallel channel, these high peaks, and then look at this sharp decline downwards. And where are we at right now? We're in the sharp decline downwards. I will zoom in a second to show you that that is the parallel channel that we are currently trading in. You can see my little green arrow there. Um, Yeah, so I think we'll continue to follow this channel downwards to the center line of this downward sloping dashed channel. And coincidentally, that's around early 2025, which is supposedly supposed to be maybe the height of our. Well, wait a second. Yeah, you know what? I believe we're going to have three peaks 24, maybe April 25, and then maybe again in November 25. So I don't know how high each one, but I think we'll get a peek at each one of those phases. Um, whereas, yeah, they're all. This is a monthly chart, so everything's really squished together. October 25, November 25 is right there, and then we'll probably chop sideways along this center line here, kind of like as we did in the past, chop sideways once we came down and form another U-shaped thing. And what is this? This is an inverse head and shoulders. It makes a lot of sense because the dollar can't keep going down, 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 down like this. Um, so yeah, it's an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which makes perfect sense because this white dashed line here at 101.733 is a major trend line of support and resistance that if you zoom in here on a daily time frame and follow this trend line, you can see how much contact we've had with this line here, even acted as resistance here. Um, so it makes perfect sense. And it's kind of what Render and Solana are doing with their center line right now. They're snaking around in and out of it. So, inverse head and shoulders pattern here. Big market crash here in 2030, 2030 to 2032, somewhere around there. Big market crash, and the Dixie comes back up here somewhere. And that's as far as I can go on my crystal ball. But what's interesting is if you look at the S&P 500, I believe as well that we will this is on a monthly time frame as well. And I believe that we will continue traveling about this parallel channel here like this up to here, and then boom, I made this a while back and it just happens to coincide with the Dixie chart that I made. This is April of 2030. Now, I mean, this is just a rough guess. Something like that though. And if I zoom out, you'll see that since now this is going all the way back to the 1930s. The S&P 500 has followed this parallel channel here, and it's gone below it, it's gone above it, it's gone below it, it's gone above it a lot. Whenever it goes above it a lot, it crashes down. Goes above it, crashes down. And I think that currently, look at this distance here, and like this distance here, and this distance here, and something like this distance here before we come and crash back down again. And this is in 2030 and beyond. Uh, yeah, somewhere between 2030 and 32 in this area right here. Makes perfect sense. Now, I said we were going to zoom in on the Dixie, so let's do that. Let's just go all the way to a daily and turn this little guy on. And there's our parallel channel, that purple parallel channel. And this green line that I estimated way back here that we would be traveling down, and we certainly are. Now, to be honest, I thought we would get a rejection off of this center line right here, and we didn't. We came up through. I had to move this line over a little bit. It was over to the right, maybe a month and a half. It was like starting right back here, and now it's starting over here. But yeah, we chopped along the top of this for a while before we got rejected down. I also widened this a little bit more or moved it over or something like that. It was like over here or maybe over here. I widened it a little bit. Anyway, okay, enough of that. Futuristic crystal ball predictions. But keep that in mind. All right, keep it in mind because yeah, big moves coming up in 6 or 8 years. You'll remember this, maybe. You file it away. Put it up. Put it on a. Take a picture of it and frame it and put it on your wall. Um. What else? Let's look at stock futures tomorrow. They don't look too good. Well, I mean, they don't look too bad. Little in the red. No big deal because kind of doing our own thing now. Let's see where we're at because I've been screwing around with the Dixie and drawing lines and stuff. I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a while. Now, I did draw this parallel channel several hours ago before this red candle here. And while I was drawing the Dixie, I came back to this and got a little scared because we were pumping up here. We were pumping out of my channel. And so I'm glad we're taking a little bit of a break here. And I expect that we'll pretty much stay in here. And how many minutes we got? We got 40 minutes left. Uh, we could dump down to this line, but I'm. Let's see if we hold this channel and possibly close this hour so that we are close this hour at about 41, 475 or something like that, so that we have a nice fresh candle in here and probably resume pumping. Maybe what time is it? Europe should be waking up. What does this say here? 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock in London. Yeah, wake up, London. Right? That's London time, isn't it? UTC. I don't know. So okay, that's that. Oh, and what's really neat is that this parallel channel takes us up to our next area of interest. This X right here. Um, Now this is on my really messy chart right here. This because this is where I drew this thing. And I don't really see anything in this area that I can make lines about right now, or anything in the past that's going to be blocking us, um, really. So the intersection of these two center lines, and you'll see what they are in a minute, is where I think we're headed to. Now, if we were to continue in here, it would get us there beforehand, and this would actually be before the end of the day tomorrow, because we're on an hourly chart, and I think it's kind of ridiculous to think that we would stay in this channel the whole time. I'm sure we're going to start moving out of it, maybe chop a little sideways, maybe even come back down and whatever. But I think we'll end up here sometime um, eight Tuesday morning where I'm at, but 1800 UTC, somewhere around there. And that's at about 44,500, 44,600. Um, and then probably continue trading in this circular area region, heading into the FOMC meeting. The blue line is CPI data release next, not this coming week, but the following Monday. And then we have the FOMC meeting the following Wednesday. Now, we've always, I don't know. I don't think these are how influential they will be anymore. I think they're losing their influence. I don't know. Maybe they'll always be influential. I think we know. I think investors are more at ease and understanding what's going to happen. I think the news media tries to tell us what we think, but whatever. Boom, boom, boom. So, okay, I wanted to look at Bitcoin on a different chart. Is this the one? Yeah, this is a cleaner chart. Um, let's look at the hourly first of all, because I want to show you the hourly is kind of messy, and it has a lot more lines on it. And so on the daily time frame, I got rid of a lot of those. And well, you just have to believe me, there was a lot more. It's hard to tell. So we were in this pink ascending triangle, and boom, that's our target approximately. And there's our target right there. And guess where that goes? It goes approximately here. Now, yeah, I was going to say this is a different chart, so these channels might be slightly off, but no, they're not. They're right on. So that's good. Tuesday right here. Um, but I had drawn this at another time. I didn't draw this the one on the other chart. The one on this chart I just drew today, and this one I had drawn a while back. And because this is what I think essentially we're going to do over the next 6 months, really, or heading into the halving. Continue upwards in this, well, here, and then come along here, up here, and sometime mid January, uh, come down here and down to 48, down to around 48 here for the halving. Now, well, let's go over this because I have long talked about these various colored channels, the white one, the green one, the blue one. And I won't bore you with their history way back here because you know all this. You've been following me how these white channels have a history, all these colored channels have a history with Bitcoin price action. Look at how we've traded them in the past, all the way in 2015 to 2016. For like a year or two, we've traded inside these channels, and they are all coming into. They're all crossing up here. The blue one is new. However, the blue one goes all the way back to the very, very beginning. It stays away. It doesn't see any price action other than the very beginning of time here. Um, and it's really, really interesting if you zoom in and see exactly where it goes. So, but essentially, the blue one is new starting in January. And the bottom of the blue channel is the trend line that we fell out of in August. And we had been trading in the blue channel a little bit above it right here, but essentially in the blue channel since from January to August. We've fallen out of it, and now we're back in it. We'd also been trading in the white channel since June of 2022, except for FTX and except for this dump right here. But other than those two, holding in the white channel. Now, the green channel contains price action since the FTX collapse in November of 22. And of course, as with the blue channel, we traded outside the green channel a little bit right here. But other than that, so what we're doing now is really important because we busted through. The white channel has been acting as resistance and holding us down. Right here. White channel acted as resistance here. Here in our consolidation, the blue channel, the bottom of the blue channel had been acting as resistance. We broke above it, fell back through it, and then held it as support. We're now back inside the blue channel, heading to that center line. It's what we always do. From the bottom of the blue channel here, back up around the center line. From the bottom of the blue channel here, oh, we went all the way up and out the top. That was a good one. And same here. Wow. So I guess it's conservative that we go up to the center line. But you can see how, and I've circled all the points of contact that we've had here with the blue channel. And you can see how we fell through it right there. So we are back inside the blue channel. And so going up to the center line, I think we'll hold the center line here for a little bit, but then continue onwards and upwards. It makes perfect sense with what we've done in the past in relationship to this blue center line, the blue parallel channel, and come out above it a little bit. And this also is consistent with the orange channel here. Now, the orange channel, let's go to a weekly maybe. You'll see that the orange channel is perfectly parallel to all our other parabolic runs. Marked in green here, marked in green here. Let's see if I can put this on auto. And you can, let's open this up more. So you can see all our parabolic runs since the beginning of time here. Boom, 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 boom. Those are all perfectly parallel. This one is just colored orange because I want it to be different. But the parallel channel here is perfectly parallel to those other ones. Now, that's not the reason why I drew it. After I drew it, I realized that it was perfectly parallel to them. But where are we? I think we have to go to an hour. Oh, we're on a weekly time frame. That's why it looks weird. We have to go to a daily. How I drew this parallel channel is, bear with me. right here with this daily price action. Bottom of this candle, this wick right here, this red candle wick, you'll find that when you pair up the bottom of a candle wick like this and the top of another one, it price action tends to follow those channels that you draw. And so we have this that wick down to the top, wick down to the top, wick down to the top, wicked up to it, wicked up to it, wicked up to it, wicked up to it. This is our so that's one, two, three, four. Skip that one. Five, six, seven. A whole week's worth of candles that essentially dictated the direction of this channel. And it's perfectly parallel to the other channels. The center line is right on here when you pull the bottom of the channel to this area right here, to this area that we bounced off of. And you can see the price action along the center line. You can see we wick up to the center line here. You can see how we snaked in and out of the center line, back down to the bottom of the channel. Came out a little bit here. That's not a big deal. We do that off. I mean, you got to give these channels a break sometimes. They pretty much enclose the price action. So that we would come back up to the center line of that channel and the center line of the blue channel makes perfect sense here. Not tomorrow, but Tuesday. Or maybe Wednesday. Let's see what happens, or even Thursday, sometime this week. Sometime this week we'll be up around here. So okay, so that's enough for Bitcoin, I think. I wanted to talk about this. Now I made a video on this. It's in my Crypto Essentials. I think I'll change that name to Crypto Fundamentals. I don't know. What do you think? Um, that's on my YouTube channel page, homepage. There's a section called Crypto Essentials, and it has a video on the CME futures gap myth. And marked here on the CME futures chart, I have all the gaps that have been made and were not filled for like a year or a year and a half till the next bear market or the next bull run or what have you. And these two right here have never been filled. One's only a $20 gap, but this one here at around 9,700 has never been filled, and I doubt it's ever going to get filled. That's a $250 gap. These other ones here during our parabolic run in 2020, 21, they remained unfilled for an entire year and a half until the next bear market. And these two that were formed during the bear market remained unfilled until like a year to a year and a half later. This one just got filled at 35,000. So it's in this one as well. When we dump back down here and at our second top, that didn't get filled till like way over here. So, and these are significant 1450, 1450. The one we just made right now is 685. I don't think it's going to get filled. There's a chance we could dump tomorrow. When America opens for business, you always tend to get some dumpiness. And I think the Americans just love to short the hell out of shit. And so it's very possible we do come down and close this tomorrow morning. I honestly don't think it's going to happen. I think there's so much interest and so much demand for Bitcoin right now. I don't think they can. And I think the reason why these are formed is that, and Crown said it, Eric Crown said it on his video. I don't know, it's to F with the the professional traders or something like that. I don't really understand what he's saying, but yeah, it's to f with the people that are trading. It was formed purposely because, like dangling a carrot in front of you, it's something you're never going to reach. And so I think there's going to be I think we're going to see some volatility in liquidations, a lot of liquidations this coming week. It's going to be a little crazy. Okay, so that's enough for Bitcoin. Well, I don't. You know what? I don't have the other charts pulled up. I'm going to stop for a second, see how long I've been blabbing for. Well, I saw that I've been talking for quite a while now, but bear with me. Uh, and I've taken quite a break. I was looking at the other charts, getting them ready. Uh, I think this is pretty interesting. So we're looking at Bitcoin right now. On the daily time frame, Bitcoin US dollar index. Now, I've done a little measuring percentage to a little measuring, this little measuring ruler guy, starting at December 1st. And I do believe, oh, shoot. Okay, good. I thought I had clicked it accidentally. I do believe that this white vertical line is this, well, it is. In fact, this white vertical line marks the beginning of the year. But I do believe that by that time, Bitcoin will have come up to the top of the blue vertical or blue parallel channel. And where those two meet is a 47% move. And I've been calling for this for a long time. I told you we were going to have a significant bull run, a major bull run heading into mid January, and then a pullback. And this is what I'm seeing. I believe that somewhere between the top of the blue parallel channel and the center line of this orange parallel channel and the bottom of the orange parallel channel and the center line of the blue parallel channel is where Bitcoin will be at the end of the year. And that's between about 30 to 50% move, roughly. Um, and quite possibly what could happen is that we see about a 45% move from Bitcoin up to around just above 50,000, maybe heading into Christmas, maybe 53 something, and then a pullback into the beginning of the year, kind of something like this little green line is drawn, but maybe up a little bit further. Or maybe we don't hit the top of the blue channel. Maybe we do get rejected by the center line. But anyway, a big move, 30 plus percent move, I believe, for Bitcoin. And then onwards and upwards into the first part of January, up to 60, around 60,000. I truly believe, before seeing a pullback. Um, and I think some people will take profits once it hits here, and that'll generate a pullback. And this is all hype into the ETFs, which will be approved right around here. And people will be kind of disillusioned once they don't see the money flowing in because it's going to take some time. So that'll generate this pullback. So 30 to 50% move for Bitcoin by the end of the year. Now let's consider that when looking at Render and Solana and these other ones. Uh, so December 1st is right there. I think the altcoin market is going to see a 50% move and uh, at least. Now, if Solana comes up to the top of this parallel channel sideways here by the end of the year, it's about a 60% move. Now, some of the altcoins are going to do more of a move than others. But I think a 30 to 50% move for Bitcoin and a good 50% move for the altcoin market in general. So it's very reasonable to consider that Solana would be up here. Now, with Solana, though, oh, I'm sorry, this is render. Did I say Solana in the beginning? I don't know what I said. It's very late and I'm tired, but it's just this is some altcoin, and there's a bunch of lines in the chart, and we're going to follow the lines. So, what is this actually? About $5.50. Yeah, so this makes perfect sense for Render. I do think Render will fare a little bit better than Solana, although it is seeing a little bit of a pullback today because it has pumped quite significantly. Render's done a 10x since a year ago, really. Um, so there's a lot of room to take profit, but it's still a strong asset. So anyway, yeah, very practical. Now that is actually falling out of this parallel channel. So we'll just see what kind of formations we see here. But looking to be right up here makes a lot of sense for Solana. I mean, render. Render is on Solana. Now here is Solana here. Okay, we are on Solana. And let's do our little cursor thing starting at December 1st here and heading into the end of the year. 58% takes us to the top of this parallel channel. It's very coincidental that these moves are taking us to similar channels in different assets. So, yeah, and maybe like Bitcoin, we do see it come up here and then and pull back, even possibly because you do have FTX selling a lot of Solana, so that would create pressure. But that's perfectly in line with this green X I had predicted and movement within this channel here. So maybe we come up here in just prior to Christmas. This makes a lot of sense that we would come up here and then maybe see a pullback into the end of the year. Maybe just finishing up at the center line of this channel at a 37% move for the month of December in Solana. Let's see if something like that is realistic for Render too. From where we started here, now the next one over there. Let's look at where we would be at the 19th of December. Let's spread this out a little bit more. Oh, that's too much. I went up too far. Oh, actually, that's consistent with my little lines that I made too. Yeah, so maybe 57%. Yeah. And plus, we'd be following my lines. So, and it's what I must have been looking at earlier. So, 57 to there. If we pulled back like this, yeah, that's very similar to what I see for Solana and Bitcoin. So I'm guessing for the next, we'll see more upward movement for the next few weeks, and then a pullback into the end of the year. And then at the beginning of the year, I imagine we'll see a nice run up the first couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks in January. We'll have to reevaluate things then. So we did render, we did Solana. Oh, let's look at Chainlink. Again, let's take our little measuring tool and let's open this up a little bit. Now, this one, I don't know if the other ones had. Let's go back and see. Do they have one? I don't think they've been around long enough. That line that you saw on Chainlink was the 200 weekly moving average. I don't see it here on these other guys. I don't think they've been around long enough. Chainlink has. So you see this light blue line here is the 200 weekly moving average, and we just reclaimed that in early November, which is good. That's a good sign. Here, December 1st. You see, all these things are matching up to the center line of this channel by like the 19th, 20th of December is about a 58% move. And then a pullback maybe to here, 45, or maybe even we come a little bit below that. But yeah, it's consistent with what I'm looking at on everything else. Render, Solana, Ethereum. Now, what's interesting with Ethereum is things aren't matching up unless they will match up when I relook at it here. Let's see. Let's do our little measuring tool. Oh, come on. Let's get to open it up a little bit more and go to December 1st is right about there. And if we go up, that gets us to this line here, a 50% move to this green parallel channel, I think is what that line represents. It's a little wider channel than the fuchsia colored channel or smaller channel we're trading in. Then pull back here. Possibly. It kind of makes sense for Ethereum. However, I think Ethereum's got more move in it than that. But we'll see. That's around 3,000. Yeah, maybe that's about all we see from Ethereum right now. Okay. That makes sense to me. I was just looking. I'm thrown off because we're breaking out of this big, humongous ascending triangle. Come here. This huge ascending triangle that goes back a year and a half, and the target is way up here at this center line of this channel, up at 4,600. But maybe we don't see that till. Well, we'd have to see it here. See, that's what's throwing me off. This is in March. So maybe, Bitcoin is pulling back into the halving event. People start throwing their money into Ethereum with the hype of Ethereum ETF launching in the second quarter of 2024 here. That could possibly be what happens. We'll just have to see because this target matching up with this line right here makes a lot of sense. I'll have to look at this chart more and see what I'm missing here. Maybe there's just another. What? It's quite possibly we could just. A lot of times, if you draw a channel within a channel. It's kind of rough right now. And then we come out over here. Oh, lordy. Well, that's November 2024. You think that's what's going to happen? Possibly. That makes sense too. Anyway, we will have to think about this one some more. All right. So, what else we got going on here? We haven't looked at Bitcoin in a while, and you can see it's many hours later. It's a couple hours later. I've been playing around here for a while, and we're at 41,670. It's pretty freaking good, man. Look at this. So last time we were pulling back here, we had a nice green candle there, and sure enough, remember what I was talking about? Um, we closed high enough that we stayed within our parallel channel here, and we actually wicked down to it and tested it right there. And then let's just zoom in more so you can see it on your TV screens at home. Really should watch my channel on TV, on a big screen TV with some popcorn, ice cream, or pizza or something. Um, and then here, it came right up to the center line. So these little candles know where the lines that I have drawn are. And so let's just see what happens. Just a few hours away from what time is it? It's 1:48. So in about 5 hours, we'll see if the Americans want to dump this thing or what. Freaking Americans. Okay. What am I forgetting? Let's see if the futures have changed at all. Nah. Let's see if Dixie's changed at all. Oh, it's come down a little bit. I think it was a little bit higher. Yeah, it's dropped down a little bit. Okay. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging in there in this really long video. And remember, you can always, it's probably too late now, but if you want to listen to this again, or any future videos, you can always increase the playback speed. Um, Somewhere there's like a little wheel that looks like this on your YouTube video, and if you click on there, you can click it up to 1.5 speed, or even 2 speed if you want to be really intense. 1.5 speed, I sound pretty much like a normal person. Depends. All right. Thanks. Bye.